Today I'm going to be giving you a little commentary over my recent leg workout. I'm gonna watch it here on my computer so I can talk over it. Basically, with my training, I have been training legs, I've been trying to hit legs 3 times a week, but what I do is I have a glute and ham focused day, and then I have a quad focused day, and then again I'll do glute and ham or just glutes depending on how well I recover. That is what I have been doing. That's what's been working for me personally. I would recommend testing things out for yourself, similar like as to how I just said I'm doing. So if you're trying to build and grow your glutes, I would recommend hitting them at a higher intensity or higher volume or frequency. Also, you do want to make sure you are prioritizing rest and recovery. So taking sometimes 2 days in between leg training sessions, or even 3 days if your schedule sets up for it. The first movement that I start off with, as always, is always a compound movement. That is how I basically can overload the muscle and stimulate it best when I am starting my workout. So this is also my strength portion of my workout. This is where I'm very focused on moving lots of weight, proper form, and here we are doing the barbell hip thrust. So this was actually my top set of like 305 for anywhere from like 6 to 8 reps. This is tons of progress compared to where I started. Next time I for sure want to try and hit 315 for maybe like 6 to 10 reps. That would be awesome. And since I have never gone this heavy with hip thrusts ever, I'm kind of at like that newbie gain stage. So I'm making very significant gains, but eventually I will adapt. My body will kind of plateau, and I will have to get over that plateau by either increasing the sets, trying to increase the weight, or increase the reps to eventually build up that strength again. Actually moved into another variation of a hip thrust. This was on a Smith machine, and I had a staggered stance. So normally on this Smith machine, or normally for the hip thrust, as seen in the first video, my feet were together. Here I had one foot out in front of the other, and personally I find that I get a better contraction in my, the glute that is flat. With the foot flat on the floor, that is the leg that I get the best contraction in, specifically in my glutes. So if you're somebody who finds maybe you have an imbalance, like one glute is bigger than the other or something like that, you can, or same with hamstrings if you have a stronger side, which most people do, trying to either do single leg movements or in this scenario like a staggered stance movement is a really great way to kind of help work that and catch the imbalance and fight it. After that, I wanted to hit, this actually was like a full leg workout. Like we hit quads, we hit glutes, we hit hams. So next we went into some heavy goblet squats, but we wanted to still focus on the glutes. So we had a band right above the knee. I personally keep my bands above the knee. I don't like below the knee. I don't find that it feels as comfortable, that my knees feel as safe. So I always stick with above the knee. It feels much safer. I get better glute activation. And I do a better job personally myself keeping my knees outward and like tracing over the middle of my foot versus coming inward, which can potentially happen, and that is called knee valgus. You don't want that. That's very dangerous. Your knee is going to be prone to injury, and we want to avoid that at all costs. So having the band just helps to activate the glutes, remind your knees to stay outward, and the goblet squat is obviously a great movement to target your quads as well. After that, we moved into some Romanian deadlifts on the Smith machine, also known as stiff leg deadlifts. There are tons of different names that you could use for this movement. And here, due to the position of the video and due to the pants, honestly, my back does look very arched, but I promise it really was not as arched as it looks. You essentially want to keep your spine neutral without any curve. That is, a neutral spine is a safe spine and a happy spine, and that's what we want. So in this movement, as you can see, I'm standing on a weight plate. So if your Smith machine racks very high, and you can't get a full range of motion, you can try standing on a 45-pound plate, you can try standing on a 25-pound plate, something to get you elevated a little bit so that you can get that fuller range of motion. The next movement is so crazy looking. I promise they are amazing though. And I'm not one to do crazy, exercises. I usually stick to like the basics, but this was killer. So I really enjoyed this. It was like a reverse frog pump on the Smith machine basically. And I like this a lot because it really isolated my glutes. the way the weight was coming down on the Smith machine, because it was an angled Smith machine, I felt that I was able to push up and out more with my glutes versus like it was basically replicating, like, I don't know if you guys have seen like the old school booty blasters that they have in some gyms, but that's kind of what this was replicating, except with 2 legs instead of being a single leg machine. And it is just killer. The way that, you know, doing it on the angled Smith machine made the world of a difference too. And I like laying on the bench because it does help to kind of keep your spine neutral, which is something that you often struggle with to see in a lot of people training glutes, because they will tend to stick their butt out, which causes the arch in the low back. As I said in the previous videos, that's not really ideal for safety purposes. Like if you're a more advanced athlete, you can kind of mess around with that, but your glutes are most engaged when your spine is neutral. From there, we finished with some very high rep sumo deadlifts. I did this because I wanted to focus on my form and practice the technique. And also, sumo deadlifts kill my glutes. They just destroy them. I used to never sumo, and I just started recently. And I've been loving it because it's really been helping me with like getting a good hip hinge is something I always struggle with. So practicing the hip thrust, sumo deadlifts, and just making sure to really extend and lock out at the very top has been very helpful. So we did this for high reps, like 3 sets of 20 reps, and it was killer. We just had 95 pounds on the bar, and it was a really great burnout, and that was the workout. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, if you have questions about anything, please leave them below as always. If you are interested in some personalized programming or any type of ebooks or guides, just let me know, because I do have a couple written nutrition wise and training wise, and I would love to help you out and, you know, provide whatever I can to help you along your fitness journey, whether that's motivation, education, or workouts. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you as always for watching. Bye.